Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.
And we are live. Good morning, everybody. Oh, hang on. Let me adjust my camera here. There we go. So I look taller. Yep. I am a giant 6'9", -7 and some change inches, but oh well. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. Today is Tuesday, the 27th at 10 o'clock Eastern time. And today we are going to talk about what in the pluck is going on in the Bitcoin and oil and Tether and whole list here. There's so much freaking going on right now that is so important that we all realize what's really going on is we're in a transition. We're in a fundamental transition. You know shit's getting crazy when Tucker Carlson is having a conversation with Peter Schiff on why Bitcoin should be the global currency of the future. Tucker Carlson understands it is decentralized. Now, this is the same person who said, well, I think the CIA created it. That's like saying that Ford created all of cars. See, the protocol of the Bitcoin is an advancement and integration of different technologies. It's cryptography, it's algorithmic, it's software. Well, all of those were invented at a different time. If you look at it like this, all right, anyone who says, well, Satoshi Nakamoto created the Bitcoin. Yes, he added the last ingredients of the recipe that led to the Bitcoin. See, Satoshi Nakamoto was an expert software chef. He saw it's just like making pasta, just like making spaghetti. There's a lot of different ones out there. Some of them have heavy sauce, some of them have light sauce, some of them use a little bit more pepper, some of them use a lot more, garlic. Satoshi Nakamoto was the person who created the best sauce for the general public. That's what Satoshi Nakamoto created. The technology was already there. SHA 256 originally came out, I think, in the 70s, maybe the late 60s. SHA 256. Well, he implemented that with other software and code, and then he solved the double spend issue, and the global internet was ready for a decentralized algorithm that you could resolve in an agreed upon block time. That's what he did, and that's amazing. That is that's some good sketty. But it wasn't just Satoshi Nakamoto. None of us ever, all right, look at race cars. The average person doesn't own a NASCAR, but yet some of the NASCAR shares technology that the average Honda has. That doesn't mean NASCAR invented the car. This is all, that's what humanity is. It's a collection and advancement of technology. And none of us really know what's going to work and what's not going to work. None of us know what's really going to be adopted by humans and what's really not. Here are two examples that if you watching, if you use your logical mind and someone said this will exist, you say bullshit. Number one, let's go way back. Let's remember that there was a guy who lived out in California, moved out to California. I think he moved there. That's the guy who invented the pet rock. Let me say that again. Invented the pet rock. Did he invent the rock? No. What did he do? He took a rock and he convinced people that they could make it into a pet. That guy died a millionaire for selling what you can walk outside and grab off the ground. Yeah, it's that was a huge selling product, almost 90% profit. Yeah, because he walked outside and got some rocks. And he's like, I'm going to package this bullshit up. I'm going to sell it as a rock. But it was popular. He sold a ton of them. A ton of them. It's excellent marketing. Absolutely. Now, I was watching a show earlier, a Bitcoin show. Shout out to Wolf of All Streets. And I didn't even know this existed. There's a product called Pudgy Penguin. Has anyone heard of this? This is a Pudgy Penguin. I'm watching it. And I'm like, wait, this is a thing? This is like, and apparently you can buy them at Walmart. They're NFTs and they have a Pudgy Penguin token. And apparently they're popular. And as I looked into the tokenomics of the Pudgy Penguin and the coin, it's just a community coin. There's no ownership. There's no rewards. It isn't mined. It's kind of like Tether because it can just create it, I'm pretty sure. But yet, apparently, this is so popular, they sell them at fucking Walmart now. So, let me ask you this. 20 years ago, if I would have said, hey, in the future, there's going to be people who actually buy digital tokens of a community called Pudgy Penguins, you would have said, Ben, you've lost your ever-loving fucking mind. This is the world we're moving into, guys. This is what I've explained. This This is a whole new, I hate to, brave new world. hate to use that term, but it's accurate because this is a brave new world. Humans value different shit. That's why we have such a wide market. You can buy anything. I mean, look at Walmart. Look at, if you really want to blow your mind, swing, and children listening, close your ears. If you really want to blow your mind, go to a sex shop. See some of the weird ass shit they got in there. Holy cow. We have everything out there. We have shit that like the pet rock. We have food, we have candy that's basically poison. And you can buy it. And I buy it. That's some damn good poison. Humans are consumers. That's what we do. We consume. It's anyone who has ever had a sales job. What's the most important thing if you're a salesman? Getting in the door. That's it. That's it. Because sales is simple. Because humans have want. You just have to show them why they want your product. You have to put out a marketing campaign for your services or your whatever you produce and sell that. If you sell windows, you're going to go in there and you're going to tell them how they need windows. You're going to point out the flaws of their windows. You're going to say how awesome your windows are. And if you're selling a pet rock, you're going to sell that it's a pet, not that it's a fucking rock. You aren't going to go, oh, look at this rock. Look how round it is. Look how smooth it is. Look how it made. This is the best rock that ever fucking rocked. No, you're going to sell the idea that it's a pet, that it has a character. All right. I don't remember. Everyone out in the chat, help me with this. There used to be keychains, because I think that my kids had them. There was a keychain that you had to feed. It was a little, it had like a head or like a little face, and it would act like it was hungry, so you had to feed it, and you had to take care of it. And it was a fucking keychain. Yeah. Kagamuchi. I guess that's the name of it. Yeah. So younger people were convinced that they felt obligated. I remember my kids would like flip out at their, like, oh, I got to put him to sleep. It's bedtime. Oh, it's time to feed him. He needs water. He needs exercise. And number one, you talk about misgendering. These things weren't boys or girls. All right. This is humans. This is humans. Humans evolve through advancement in technology, and then we just adapt to the technology. My point being this: how many people here own some Bitcoin? Raise your hand. $20 years ago, if someone would have told you, hey, you're going to own a digital currency that you're going to hold in a wallet, and you're basically going to be at war with the old system, and the old system for a while is going to try and crush you, and then you're going to America will elect Donald Trump as president, and that will lead to global adoption of the cryptocurrency, and that cryptocurrency will rise in value to over $100,000 per digital token, and that you'll be able to get a loan against your digital token, and you'll be able to leverage your digital token, which is now viewed as an asset in the banking system, and that's what you'll be doing in 20 years. You would have said, yeah, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but whatever you're smoking, I'll have two. My point is this: those of us who have really been in this for a long time now, I'm going on year, I think I'm going on year number 10. We've been through a lot of advancements in cryptocurrencies. Originally it was Bitcoin. Then it was like, then it was fucking color coins. And then it was Ethereum, or was it Litecoin first? I think Litecoin was before Ethereum. So there's all these rollouts of these different coins. None of us knew what the fuck we were even looking at. Hardly any of us even knew what a blockchain was. And we sure in the fuck didn't know what Ripple or XRP or what was that one? There were so many different altcoins, and then we hit 2017, and that shit went batshit with altcoins. We had IOTA, we had ADA, we had everything roll out. And no one knew what most of this shit even was. Yeah, we had Sandcoin. We had a coin called Sandcoin. We had Wave. We had all these different technologies. And if we remember, for those of us who have been around, a project would launch with a white paper and a fucking roadmap. And the only thing you could do was go, okay, what is the roadmap? What do they plan on doing? All right. No one had an idea for real. Well, there were a few who were like, hey, we're going to tokenize gold. But once again, they came back to the provability aspect. How do you prove that the person holding the gold and issuing the tokens, how do you prove they're holding the gold? How do you prove it isn't leveraged? How do you prove that gold doesn't have 6 fucking contracts hooked to it? You can't. You can't. This is and that is why I never a coin. I had people reaching out all the time, like, Ben, you should launch a Bitcoin Ben coin. And I'm like, well, what's it going to do? Oh, they can watch your videos, or they can do, and I'm like, it isn't going to have a utility. It isn't going to have a service. It isn't going to have, it's just going to be a, just going to be a shit coin. So I never did, because we don't need more shit coins. There's a fuck ton of them out there. What we need is, like we have, our clubs. Our clubs are brick and mortar. I can't tell you how many people have walked into our clubs off the street and just said, hey, you know, I've heard about this Bitcoin thing. What is it? Come on in. This is why I no longer want to go to any conferences. Very simple. Very, very simple. All of the conferences are circle jerks. It's everyone telling everyone how fucking awesome they are. Everyone who's at that conference doesn't, they already know. They're already in the Bitcoin. They're already in cryptocurrencies. If we want to change the world, if we want adoption, if we want real people, mom and pops, which is what we've all claimed, we want to help the little guys. We want to get regular people involved. We want to argue with our uncles and our moms and our dads and our brothers at fucking Thanksgiving, that we want to do all this, that we want to change the world. We ain't doing it at a fucking conference. It's why I launched the clubs. Yeah, yes, the clubs, that's the whole point. If all we're doing is on our shows, just I'm preaching to the crypto choir at a conference. We're just preaching to the crypto choir. That's not going to change the world. Like my grandfather used to say, you ain't doing shit when you're on the couch. I changed it to it. If you want to change the world, you have to get out in it. Any in Illinois break in? Hell no. Hell no. As of now, I'm not going to put a fucking club in Illinois. That's guys, California, New York, Illinois, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Unfortunately, Colorado, I looked at that. No. I digress. Let me get to the point of why I wanted to make this. We are living through, silver hit I think it was $118 yesterday. Guys, silver is a monetary pet rock. Gold is a monetary pet rock. And I'm not saying it's bad. Out of all of the rocks, out of all of the metals, silver's the most useful. Well, maybe copper, but there's a lot of copper. Easy to find also, because it's you usually have a green vein. Silver a little bit harder to find, because remember, silver is just a remnants of other mining. There's very few full silver mines that only mine silver. In fact, I don't think there's any just silver mines. I could be wrong. I don't know a whole lot about mining silver. But listen to this. Oil hit 118 yesterday. That's approximately 2 barrels of oil. 1 barrel of oil is 300 pounds. Trust me, I know how much that is because I got close to weighing 300 pounds. 300 pounds is a fat fucker. And I used to be a fat fucker. Now I'm a slightly less fat fucker. Think about that. Half of an ounce. So half of an ounce of silver is worth 300 pounds of oil. That's how much a barrel of oil weighs. Approximately 300 pounds. This is insane. All right, name me something else that weighs more but costs less. Anything. What weighs more but costs less than silver? I'll wait. An automobile? No. A full-size car, even if the engine is blown, the scrap value is worth more than that. Let that sink in. Let that fully sink in. That mass energy, that's what oil is. Oil is mass energy. It's energy in mass. 300 pounds of energy. Now, I think I'm right on this. Check my math. 1 barrel of oil will make, I think, 20 gallons of gas. I think someone check that, wouldn't you? All right. What? So now, if you priced your gasoline in silver, how much silver are you paying for a gallon of gas? And how the fuck do you do it? We have such a shitty currency in the dollar. The dollar is so shitty. Now, mind you, there are more shitty ones out there. But the dollar, like I've always said, the dollar is the tallest midget. That's about it, the tallest midget. They're all midgets, but the dollar is the tallest midget. So he's really good at basketball amongst the other currencies. We are living through a transition and a revolution. Now, a transition is completely different from a revolution, because a transition is just an advancement of technology. That's what a transition is. A revolution, a revolution is agendic. A revolution has an agenda that is tied with it. an advancement in technology. Is just an advancement in technology. A revolution is changing the fabric of something. And right now, we are living through a global cultural revolution, governmental revolution. These are not advancements in technology. These are cultural revolutions. Trump is a cultural phenomenon. He says certain things that a lot of people agree with. He does certain things that a lot of people agree with. And so they join his cause. They join his revolution. They join the agendic momentum to change something. Hang on one second. Word from the sponsor.
Introducing the Liberty Laptop, your gateway to online anonymity. Engineered with your privacy in mind, the Liberty Laptop comes equipped with cutting-edge security features, ensuring that your data remains yours and yours alone. No more worries about your personal information being shared without consent. Say goodbye to prying eyes and third-party snoops. Enjoy your online freedom with advanced privacy settings, protecting your every digital move, all at your fingertips. With the Liberty Laptop, you control what others see and don't see. We customize your privacy settings and let only what matters most to you be shared. No more concerns about unwarranted surveillance. We put the power back in your hands. No unwanted access through the laptop's camera and microphone. Powered by the latest technology, the Liberty Laptop ensures performance while respecting your personal boundaries. The Liberty Laptop. Your control. Your privacy. Your world. Visit calixsolutions.io to experience true personal freedom today.
And we're back. Welcome back, guys. All right. That first half hour was kind of a rant. It's sometimes you just need to rant because shit's getting so crazy out there. Let me get back to my list. All right. Tether announces USAT. USA Tether. This is the replacement. This is one of the replacements for the Federal Reserve. Tether is holding reserves of gold, treasury bonds, which are the weakest of all of the reserves it holds, and some Bitcoin. They have 3 reserves. The Federal Reserve has 1 reserve. That reserve is treasury bonds. We have talked about what treasury bonds are. Treasury bonds are just futures sold into the market that are based on your labor, your taxation. A treasury bond is a slave-free contract. That's what a treasury bond is. They sell the bond and they say, we will give you this bond if you give us US dollars. So they're trading paper. The paper of the treasury bond is a physical piece of paper or digital representation of that promises taxation of your labor. That in the future, we will tax our citizens to pay this back. Folks, that's fucking slavery. In the old days, they called it a labor contract, which Abraham Lincoln and the progressives shaped it into that slavery. That's that slavery shit. Indentured servants. I won't go down that rabbit hole. But so you have Tether that holds the Bitcoin, holds gold, and holds treasury bonds. 3. Which one has better reserves? Tether or the Federal Reserve? Well, let's look at it closely. The treasury bond is a debt. It is the debt of the United States. It's an IOU. That's what it is. It's a debt. Okay, so the Federal Reserve holds a lot of American debt and a lot of other countries' debts also. So all they hold it is a bunch of IOUs. Tether owns a bunch of IOUs, but they also hold gold. Gold has no debt. If you own the gold, you own the gold. The Bitcoin has no debt. If you own some fucking Bitcoin, that isn't a claim on future mined Bitcoin. That is the Bitcoin. It isn't something that's owed. It isn't a representation of debt. What is it? It's a representation of energy. Great question. What about USD1 and World Liberty Finance? See, I see World Liberty Finance more like fucking Binance. That's what they're building. They're using the World Liberty Finance token just like Binance used the Binance token for initial capital to grow the exchange. That's what World Liberty Financial is. I own some. I don't know how many I own. I don't own a lot. I own some. Okay. Has the price gone up? I don't think so. I should tell you the truth. I really don't know. But what we're moving into is a new system. What we're moving away from is the Federal Reserve. Whoever Trump nominates, mark my words, will be the last Federal Reserve president. Because now the Federal Reserve has competition. Tether is its competition. Walmart will be its competition. See, in the old days, all right, in the old days, most currency and was exchanged at a pawn shop. That's what most of the banks, early American and English, or I'll say European. A lot of the European banks that weren't really banks, they were actually pawn shops. Pawn shops would issue their own currency. In the 1800s, there were the banks that we actually called the Wildcat banks. Andrew Jackson, the Wildcat banks. We're about to have the Wildcat Walmarts. the wild cat Amazons, the wild cat Apple. And let me explain why. Apple can make more money issuing its own currency, its own digital currency, and holding the reserves against that currency, because then it's Apple coin. And when you buy something on Apple, you will pay with an Apple coin. In the late 1800s, early 1900s, we had what were called company stores. And the company would issue the currency to its workers. And it was a local company dollar. And it was usually pegged with the US dollar, usually. Now, why would they do that? Why wouldn't they just use the US dollar? Because then they created their own mechanism that they could inflate their currency, and it would not affect anything except local prices. And I mean local, like the company store, right? This is where we're moving to. This is where all of this is going. This is why BlackRock and JP Morgan and Wells Fargo are all launching their own coins. Why wouldn't Wells Fargo just be its own Federal Reserve? Why does Wells Fargo need the Federal Reserve? You don't. Why would a credit union? Why wouldn't a credit union just launch its own digital dollar? It could, if it had assets. Why wouldn't it? It would. Why wouldn't a credit union want to be its own Federal Reserve? See, this is all completely decentralizing. And that's what I saw coming. That's what your shares of Walmart will be digitized. And companies will launch equity tokens. That's what I did with my clubs. Equity tokens. Not a shit coin that's out there just No, because the clubs are proof of work. We are way ahead of all of this. We're the first to do it. This is revolutionary. This is the future. You're going to have digital representation of your house. Your house's equity or value will fluctuate on a local market. Let me explain how this is going to work. Your house will be on a real estate exchange. I swear to God, I know this sounds crazy. And there's a company working on it right fucking now. Zillow. Zillow is about to become a house exchange. And Zillow, mark my words, they're going to launch their own Zillow dollar. Who knows? Maybe they'll call it a zillion. Just kind of poke fun. Your house, when you go on Zillow, you'll be able to prove you own that house. And on Zillow, you'll be able to get a home equity loan through Zillow, proving that house is yours with a digital token. you'll be able to sell your home equity. Your house's representation will probably have 100,000 shares, give or take a bit, all right? This is where this is all going. We're on the cutting edge of all of this. And it's fun. It's so much fun looking out. And we are trying all kinds of shit. This is how you advance into the new economy. The new economy doesn't exist. You know why? Because we haven't fucking built it yet. That's what we at the clubs and at the credit union and at the resort and at the capital company, it's what we're trying to build. Like I've said in the past, we don't run car washes. All right? We aren't leading a car wash revolution here. We are leading, honk honk, we are leading the tokenization of equity. Problem is the average person is so separated from success. Let me explain. We're educated not to succeed. Our schooling does not teach us how to succeed as an entrepreneur. We are taught. If you really want to know what humans are, we're just a large language model in a physical body. That's it. That's what our brains are. Our brains are large language models. We are the original intelligence. We just call artificial intelligence because it isn't ours. And we label ourselves as the original intelligence. So AI is the artificial intelligence. Let me ask you a question. If you have an AI lawnmower and it cuts the grass, and your neighbor has a push lawnmower that cuts the grass, which one is the artificial lawnmower? Let that sink in. All right. Let that sink in. Which one's the artificial lawnmower if they each cut grass? Neither. They're both a lawnmower. One requires human effort. The other requires programmed AI and programmed software. We are just programmed software. We receive our programming from school, from society, from the government. We receive our programming. That's why they call television a television program. It isn't because they wrote the fucking software. You are the software. The programming is the software. You listening to it is programming you through your neural links. Our brains are, our brains just use logic and predictability and apply efficiency. That's all that a large language model is it predicts the next word based on the training, the programming of the AI for the probability of what would probably be based on the AI's neural net, which ones was used more with other words. That's us. This is fundamental. This is fundamental. See, humans are born. We don't have hate when we're born. We have like and dislike. We don't have hate. You don't ever see a 3-year-old walk up, a 3-year-old African kid walk up to a 3-year-old white kid and say, "Hey, cracker, why you oppressing me?" Oh, they're out playing. We are programmed through society to have these fucking biases. And some of them are well applied. If when you were younger, you had a neighbor who had a dog that was vicious and would bark at you and try to fucking rip your face off, odds are you ain't gonna like fucking dogs. Because as you learned, the dog you kept seeing was like, "That's a mean motherfucker." Shit, are all dogs like that? Jesus Christ, that's the only representation of a dog I've seen. And that some bitch is mean. It's trying to rip my goddamn face off. So you don't like dogs. We're advancing into a whole new technology. We are going into a whole new world, guys. In Austin, I'm watching Tesla cars drive around in the snow, wait, no. Where was that? Was that Austin? Oh, shit. Maybe it was Waymo. There was a self-driving car, and it looked like a Tesla from the inside. I could actually be wrong with that. It was auto-correcting in the fucking snow. I got a lot of friends here in Florida. They'd flip the fuck out if it snowed one flake out here in Sarasota. If it snowed in Sarasota, this place would be a fucking parking lot. No one would move. We have Elon Musk is rolling out 1 million robots. 1 million robots this year, anticipating 10 million robots next year. China just launched a new battery that charges in 9 minutes and goes up to 1,000 miles. All right. This is crazy. It's a battery for a car that charges in 9 minutes. It takes me longer to fuel up my car, go in, take a piss, grab a Red Bull, and get back out to the fucking car. 9 minutes. And it goes 1,000 miles. And it's self-driving. Wait, no, I don't know if it's actually self-driving. I didn't see that part of it. That's, guys, 1,000 miles on one charge. I love a good fucking 302 or 305 or, like a 454 4-barrel. But fuck a duck, if it'll go 1,000 miles and self-drive. Now, see, I like to drive, so I can't really apply this to myself. If it'll go 1,000 miles on one charge and it takes 9 minutes to charge that bitch up, folks, gas is about to get a whole lot fucking cheaper. A whole lot fucking cheaper. This is incredible. It's why an ounce of silver is worth more than 600 pounds of oil. 1 ounce is worth more than 600 pounds of oil. You think oil's going to go up? Or do you think oil's going to go down? The 9-minute charge battery, it takes 1 kilo of silver to build it. 1 kilo. I don't even know how many ounces it are. How many ounces are in a kilo? Could someone look that up for me? No, thank you. So the new oil is silver. If you're looking at it from an automobile point of view, because it is the power cell. Well, the old power cell was oil. The new power cell. All right, thank you. All right, there are 35 ounces in a kilo. And the new battery needs 1 kilo of silver. At $100, that's $3,500. That is incredible. That is absolutely incredible. And how many people would like to drive 1,000 miles on one charge? And then when you are about to run out of juice, you charge it up in 9 minutes. Oh, that's hilarious. Yes, you will look so cute on your way to yoga class. Absolutely. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be the most manly car out there. All right. This is the future, guys. Yeah. Let me make sure. Yeah. All right. Tether. We are winning some. Yeah. And this shows us what's going on with silver and gold. This is the return of sound money. This is the return of people recognize this is Weimar Republic when everyone went, oh, so that's how this is going to play out. We're just going to print this shit. Got it. Guys, the Federal Reserve, the US dollar. Look at Japan. Guys, every country is out for themselves, which it's really always been like that. Don't let the United Nations fucking fool you. Every single country has always actually been out for itself. It's why we have espionage and spying and all this other shit and covert actions and all this other bullshit. Everyone pretended like we were a team in the United Nations while they were spying on each other and fucking blowing each other up and like blowing up oil pipelines and fucking sending in Antifa. Hey, let's do a regime change in fucking Cuba or whatever. It was all an illusion. And now Trump's just getting rid of the illusion. He's like, hey, fuck you guys. This UN's a waste of fucking money. We all know the real game. Why are we playing here, folks? Why are we playing this U.S. public relations bullshit? America's for America, Europe's for Europe, and China's for China's, Russia's is for Russia. And it's always been like that, and it always will be like that. But everyone watching this, you're way ahead of the fucking game. And this is why. And then I'll wrap it up. I've almost been going for an hour. The gold prices, the silver prices. These are not young motherfuckers that are buying gold. These are not young motherfuckers that are buying silver. This is the last generation. It's their memory of value. It's them remembering the 70s and 1981 and all this, like, oh shit, silver's going up again. Shit, it's going to hit a record high. Shit, we better go get some silver. While that's going on with silver and gold, there's this little company coming out called Microsoft. Not that Microsoft's good, but there's this little company coming out called Microsoft, and Commodore 64 and all these little things that everyone's kind of looking at and going, what the fuck is that? What the hell is this thing? It's a personal computer. Ain't no one gonna have one of these things in their fucking house. You guys are so stupid. This, what we're involved in, this is the monetary revolution. We are having a technological revolution in AI and robots, and we are having a monetary revolution. Do you think a robot's going to swing over to the grocery store and fucking flip out a few silver coins? Hey, I'm here to pick up the groceries. Here's plink, plink. Here's some silver. No, they're going to use digital currencies. They'll probably use USAT or USDT or whatever. Hell, some of them, probably the majority of them, because if you put a wallet inside of a robot, you're going to add Bitcoin because it's a wallet. It just makes sense. Optionality. And this is the future. So everyone running into gold and silver is the old structure. It's the central banks are buying gold. How many people here like the central banks? Oh, let me put my hand down. Countries are buying gold. How many people think the U.S. government is ran efficiently? How many people trust that the U.S. government holds the gold it says it has? Not many. So the old system, the government structures and the Federal Reserve and the old financial system, they're clinging on to the old relic from the good old days. Back in the day when we had gold and silver and we could manipulate it and we had contracts and derivatives and all this good stuff. You know what's funny? Michael Saylor is the new Hunt brothers. He just doesn't know it yet. Michael, love you, brother, but you might as well change your last name to Hunt because they're going to be on the hunt for you, bro. And if you don't know who the Hunt brothers is, go on Google and just type in Hunt Brothers Silver, 1981. I think it was 1981. That's Michael Saylor. See, the Hunt brothers were way ahead of fucking inflation. They're like, yeah, fuck this bullshit. And they said, you got too much silver. We gonna need you to sell that. And they forced them to sell their silver because they had too much of it. Can't let them get too rich. This is where we're going. And I want everyone to enjoy the ride. Because there ain't fuck none we can do about it. It isn't like I can actually call up any house, White House, China House, Russian house, any house, and go, hey, can you guys fix this? The system is set in motion. The Federal Reserve System is a countdown to failure. It was meant to fail. Therefore, it fails. The Federal Reserve was programmed to fail. The people who implemented the Federal Reserve, all right? The people who implemented the Federal Reserve, they knew about fiat. This wasn't some fucking magical chemistry that they cooked up on Jekyll Island and was like, hey, you know what we should do? We should launch a centralized bank. Totally new concept, except for all of Europe and in 1832 and all of these other times. They didn't invent the fucking wheel. They just made a wheel that was made out of paper that eventually would just roll itself into oblivion. That was the ticking time bomb. They created the Federal Reserve to print up as much money into the American economy so they could set up the American economy the way they wanted. Remember, without the Federal Reserve, there is no World War I. There is no World War II. There is no Vietnam. There is no fucking Korea. There is no Iraq. There is no Afghanistan. None of that. They used the Federal Reserve to create the progressive system in America. They created where we're at now. They created the elites. They created the government. They shaped the government and used our labor, our taxation, and the money printer to fucking do it. Unfortunately, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, America died on December 23rd, 1913. The moment that they passed the Federal Reserve, America died. We just didn't know we were dead yet. And we have been living on the life support of a fraudulent fiat currency that has been poisoning us with poison blood. And the poison blood is the dollar. Because the older the blood gets and the bigger the blood gets, the less nutrients it holds. The less nutrients, monetary nutrients, that comes to you through your labor. Yeah, and this is just the end game. Now this is the reversal of that. The Bitcoin is the antidote. It's the new blood. Gold and silver are just the transition into the new blood, because gold and silver cannot be the new blood, because the new global economy is digital. Silver and gold cannot digitally flow through the veins of a world digital economy. But cryptocurrencies can. The Bitcoin can. It is the new blood. It is the new monetary blood. And we're just going through a transition. Gold and silver are not the cure. They're just the needle. They're the line running the wealth from the old system into the new. They're transitioning the wealth out of the old system as it collapses. And they're pushing that value into gold and silver. That then the government can then reprice the gold and silver and launch more currency off of that evaluation. Because as gold prices go up, guess what goes down? Our national debt in gold. They're revaluing the debt, not the gold. And then that will flow into the new global decentralized money. And that's the Bitcoin. And that's what Tucker Carlson was asking Peter Schiff. That's where we're at, guys. The future is digital representation of value, limited supply. Everyone, have a great and wonderful day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Love you guys.
Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.